welcome back to our Fruit of the Spirit yoga series. Today's class is our last one. It's all about self-control. So it's going to be a bit of a tougher class, a lot more strength in your arms and a little bit in your legs. And I just view self-control as your God-given power to say yes to the things that bring bountiful life and to say no to the things that do not bring life. So keep that in mind. Try to stick with some of these harder poses, say yes to them, give your all to them, but if they are not safe or if they are not serving you, then have the self-control to say no to them as well. So we'll get started in puppy pose and I'll tell you your readings then. So for puppy pose, we're going to walk your feet all the way to the back of the mat. Hips are on top of knees, and then you'll stretch your arms out long in front of you. And there's a couple variations. You can really melt your chin and chest to the mat if you feel open through your shoulders, or just take your forehead to the mat. Think about wrapping your outer armpits down. Stay here for a few breaths as I talk about our readings. So the scripture is from Titus chapter 2, verses 11 through 12. For the grace of God has appeared that offers salvation to all people. It teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions, and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in this present age. And then our quote is from Aristotle. Self-control. What lies in our power to do, it lies in our power not to do. So that kind of speaks to having the wisdom of discernment. So in your puppy pose, drop your forearms, your elbows down. So we're in this kind of tabletop child's pose mix. Hips are still stacked above knees. Elbows are a little bit in front of your shoulders. And we're going to take cat-cow here. So inhale, move to cow. So think about lifting your tailbone, lifting your head, arching through your spine. And exhale, think cat. So curl and round, forehead to pubic bone. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, lift and arch, open up through your collarbones. Exhale, navel to spine. Round everything in. 2 more with your breath. Last big exhale. Walk your hands out a little further, and we're going to move just into some hip drops. So have your knees touching in the center, and then drop your hips over to the right. So kind of what you would do in a plank, but we're just doing this on our forearms. Come back through center, drop your hips to the left. Keep your core engaged throughout this. We're just going to do 2 more on each side. Just waking up the body. Drop your hips over to the left and pull them back to center. Last one on each side. Good. From here, we're going to come into downward facing dog. So walk your knees in, widen your fingers, put weight through all your knuckles, especially your index finger, and then lift your hips high for a downward facing dog. Now on an inhale, we're going to lift up onto our toes. On an exhale, come back to normal. You can have a bend in your knees as much as you need. And then your next inhale, you're going to bend your knees even more as you drop your chest down. So kind of like a turbo dog. And then exhale back to normal. So inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, drop them. Inhale, bend your knees, sink your chest. Exhale, down dog. 2 more. Inhale, lift up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, drop your heels down. Inhale, bend your knees, melt your chest, wrap your outer shoulders down, and then exhale, normal, downward facing dog. 1 more time. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, drop them down. Inhale, bend your knees, sink your chest. Exhale, down dog. Good. root into your right foot. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, drop onto your right knee. So we're ending in this balancing table. Inhale, lift your right arm up. Exhale, drop your right arm down. Inhale, three-legged dog, push through your right leg. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, shift forward, lower your left knee. Inhale, lift your left arm forward. Long line of energy. Exhale, place left hand down. Inhale, three-legged dog. Lift your right heel high. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, three-legged dog on the left. Exhale, drop right knee. Inhale, lift right hand. Exhale, release it. Inhale, push through your right toes, lift your left heel high. Exhale, center. Inhale, three-legged dog, right leg lifts. Exhale, drop left knee. Inhale, left hand in front of you. Exhale, navel to spine, drop your hand. Big inhale reaches you up. Exhale, back through center. One more time on each side. Inhale, three-legged dog on the left. Exhale, drop your right knee. Inhale, extend through your right hand. Exhale, release it back down. Inhale, push through the ball of your right foot. Three-legged dog, and exhale, release. Last time on the other side. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, drop left knee down. Inhale, extend through left fingertips. Keep a nice steady spine. Exhale, release your left hand. Inhale, lift your right heel. Exhale, plant your foot down. Good, drop on your knees and take a child's pose. Sit your hips back on your heels. Arms can stretch out in front of you or just relax by your sides. I like to take a gentle sway of my hips from side to side. Good. Rise back up. We're going to move into some Lolasana prep vinyasas. So you're kneeling on your shins. Your hips are resting on your heels. And then you're going to plant your hands on either side of your distal thigh, so the part closest to your knees. So on an inhale, you're going to push through the tops of your feet and lift your knees up. So this is our Lolasana prep. Curl your knees towards your forehead and engage your core, draw belly to spine, and think about really separating your shoulder blades. So you're pressing hard through your palms into the mat. Separate your shoulder blades. So that's our inhale, Lolasana prep. Exhale, you're going to roll over your toes, drop your heels down into this shortened down dog. That's our exhale. Inhale, you're going to plant your shins and knees and sit back. And then the last part of it is we're going to lean onto the tops of our feet and lift our knees up. So kind of this magic balance pose. Hands can be out for balance or at heart center. Lean back as far as you can without falling. So find that discernment. Find that self-control that lets you challenge yourself but not go to an unsafe place. Okay, and then release back down. So let's do that 2 more times. Press your hands into the mat, lift your knees, rise up. You're on the tops of your feet. Good. Lower down. Actually, come into your shortened down dog, sorry. Good. Stretch out the backs of your legs. Now lower your knees down. Untuck your toes and lean back. I don't know what these are called. We should come up with a name for them. Good. Lower your shins. We'll do that 1 more time. So inhale, press through your palms, separate your shoulder blades, lift your knees. Lolasana prep. Exhale, roll over your toes, plant your heels for shortened down dog. Inhale, come back onto your shins and knees, and then exhale, lean back as far as you can. Good. Shake your arms out. We're going to come into a little bit of a different, same but different. So roll out your shoulders, take as much time as you need, and then come into your Lolasana prep again. So again, widen through your fingertips, press through your knuckles, separate your shoulder blades, draw navel to spine. Inhale, lift your knees. Exhale, drop them. Inhale, extend your hips, rise up, arms overhead. And then we're gonna do genie sits. So have your hands at heart center, and then start to just lean back. So your back should stay relatively straight. You're just hinging at your knees. So keep a straight line of energy through your hip joint. This is a lot on the quads. So lean back is, find that edge for you. Good, and rise back up. Exhale, drop your hips down. Inhale, Lalasana prep. Lift your knees, push through your palms. Exhale, sink your hips down. Inhale, rise up, arms overhead, extend your hips. Come to a kneeling position, and then exhale, sit on back. Take an extra breath. I'm shaking. Inhale, up. Exhale, sink back down. One more time, press through your palms. Find your Lalasana prep. Lift your knees, balance on the tops of your feet. Exhale, drop down. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead as you rise up to kneel. Exhale, hands at heart center. Find your genie sit. Good. Rise back up and sit down. Find your child's pose. Take a few breaths here. Wiggle your way back out of that and find a standing posture at the top of your mat. So move into Tadasana. Widen your toes, spread them out, roll your shoulder blades back. We're gonna move into a vinyasa here. So inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, hands at heart center, and you're gonna come into a shrimp squat. So what this means is you'll curl your right heel in towards your glute, and you're gonna really just do a single leg squat through your left leg. If that means you stay here, that's awesome. If you can, try to lower your right knee all the way to the mat, and then rise back up, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back through your plank. Shift forward, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, step your left foot on the outside of your left hand. So we're moving into a really wide runner's lunge here. Just take some rocks back and forth to open up through the front of your right hip. And then you're gonna nestle your knee in your left armpit. So really wrap that left arm around it. We're gonna come into a side plank balance here. So widen your left fingertips, get that knee in your armpit, and then roll on to the blade edge of your right foot. Now, we're gonna pluck our left toes up and open our right arm to the sky. So we're just balancing on two limbs here. Hold for a breath. Push strong through your left hand as you extend your left leg out for a fallen triangle. One breath here. And then plant your right hand, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, step forward, halfway lift through your spine. Exhale, fold. Now the other side, inhale. Circle, sweep your arms overhead. Hands at heart center. Now we're gonna move into our shrimp squat on the other side. So curl left heel towards left glute. And then squat into your right leg. One side might be stronger or weaker than the other. Lower slowly, try to tap that left knee down, and then rise back up, arms overhead, and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, straight spine. Exhale, move through your vinyasa, shifting through chaturanga, rolling over your toes for upward facing dog, pulling your chest through, and then exhale, sending the hips high for downward facing dog. Step your right foot on the outside of your right hand. And again, take those little rocks forwards and backwards to open up through your hips. Now, nestle your right knee on the inside of your right armpit and really wrap your right arm around. So your right hand comes on the outside of your right foot. Lower your left heel down, so the ankle's at 90 degrees. And then we're gonna pluck, this one's always a little harder for me. Pluck your right foot up, lift your left hand to the sky. Gaze can follow if you're stable. Again, stick with this. I know it's hard. If it's not safe, don't do it. Push harder through your right hand. Extend your right leg out for fallen triangle. Lift your hips a little higher and then plant left hand down. Back to down dog. Inhale, step, hop, or float forward to a straight spine. Exhale, fold. We'll do one more on each side. Inhale, circle, sweep your arms up. Exhale, hands at heart center. Root strong through your left foot. Curl right heel into right glute. And then sit into your shrimp squat. Take as much time and practice as you need. Try to tap your right knee down. And then push back up. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, move through your vinyasa. This is a strong class. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your left foot on the outside of your left hand. Take a few wiggles to get into your position. And then wrap left arm outside of left foot. Nestle your knee on the back side of your triceps, so it should be right in here. Plant your right heel down. Pluck your left toes up and reach your right arm to the sky. One more breath. And then extend your left leg out for fallen triangle. Lift your hips a little higher. Exhale, find your down dog. Inhale, step, hop, float to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, hands at heart center, last time. So root through your right foot, and then start to sit back. So find that control that lets you push through any ideas of what you thought you could do, but to do it in a safe, mindful way. Tap your left knee down, and then rise back up. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, move through your vinyasa. If that means you drop onto your knees this time, go for it. Find your way into downward facing dog. And then step right foot on the outside of your right hand. Saw your body back and forth. Nice, purifying breaths here. Good, last time through this, so make it strong. You're gonna wrap your right arm on the outside of your right shin. Swivel your left heel down. Push hard through your right palm to lift your right toes. And sweep your left hand to the sky. Really strong, good job. And then extend your right leg out for fallen triangle. Lift your hips higher. Good. Plant your left hand, and then just sit back into a child's pose for a few breaths. And from your child's pose, we're gonna move into one more arm balance / relaxation pose. So find your way into a seated twist. So sit back onto your bottom, swing your legs in front of you, and then extend your right leg long. Place the sole of your left foot on the outside of your right knee, and then curl your right heel into your body. So this is our little seated spinal twist. So let's take it for a breath. Place your left hand behind you. Inhale, sweep your right arm overhead. Hook right knee on outside, or right elbow on outside of left knee. A couple breaths here. Root through both sit bones. And then we're gonna take a side crow with our legs in this twisted position. So I'm gonna turn to face you guys, but stay wherever you're comfortable with. So we're hooked here. You're going to place that right palm on the mat and have the left palm shoulder width apart from it. And then you're going to lean forward. You can kind of shimmy onto your right shin. Tuck your right toes to lift your hips higher. And then lean forward so more weight is in your hands and your feet. And lift up into this twisted variation. Lift your chest and release. Good. So from your seated spinal twist now, we're going to find deer. So take that left leg, swing it around behind you. This is deer pose. And then you're going to fold over to your right. So right thigh is parallel to your elbows. Take several breaths to let the body just slow down. Push through your palms, stay in deer pose, but this time just fold down the center. So you can use a bolster or a pillow underneath you. You can stay up on your elbows. Relax your shoulders from your ears. And then we'll switch sides. So gently rise up. And then we're moving into our twist on the other side. So extend your left leg long. Plant the sole of your right foot on the outside of that knee, and then curl left heel towards glute. So here's our spinal twist. Let's take it for a few breaths. Reach your right fingertips behind you. Inhale, sweep your left arm up to the sky, and then hook your left elbow on your right knee to twist open. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, twist deeper. One more breath here. Now plant your left hand on the mat, keeping your elbow hooked. Match it with your right, and then you can wiggle onto the ball of your left bottom foot. We're going to shift our weight forward until we're able to lift our legs and come into the side crow variation. Might need to widen your base of support. Hold for a couple breaths. Lift your chest higher. Good, and release. Now we'll move into deer pose. So unwrap your top right leg, bring it behind you. This is deer. And then we're going to bring our forearms down to the left, so to the back of our mats. Left thigh is parallel to your elbows. Now, did you have the self-control to skip that crow if you needed to? There's a difference between trying to challenge yourself and constantly being out of control. Everyone's a little bit different. At the same time, it's super beneficial for us to push ourselves and to say yes to those things that will bring strength and will bring life and discipline. Press through your palms. Come through center. Inhale, straighten your spine. And exhale, fold into deer. Again, a bolster would be perfect right now. I wish I had one. Stay in your deer pose as I finish up with our readings one more time. So our scripture is from Titus chapter 2. For the grace of God has appeared that offers salvation to all people. It teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions, and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in this present age. And then our quote. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to do a second quote for this one. From Paramahansa Yogananda. In that power of self-control lies the seed of eternal freedom. That's awesome. I love that. Okay, so rise up out of your deer pose. Meet me in a seated posture at the top of your mat, hands on your knees. One big final inhale together. One big exhale. Hands at heart center. Namaste. All right, that's it for our Fruit of the Spirit series. I hope you loved it. I liked the shorter 25 to 35 minute classes. I feel like it's such a good thing to just do on your lunch break or after work. Try to squeeze it in. It's so good for your mind and your body. And yeah, I hope it was a fun mixture of these creative flows, but also gave you a chance to reflect on some of these scriptures and quotes that will just cultivate these wonderful qualities in your life. So thank you guys. Please share this if you enjoyed it. Please like it and subscribe. And I will see you for our next series. Bye guys.